No King's Day is over. Great news. We don't have a king still, but we have a president who won in a landslide. But the way the mainstream news reported it, you'd think something different. Wait till you see the video I'm going to show you. Completely fraudulent. Hold on to your seats. This is amazing. Will Johnson, it's the weekend after the millions, if you can believe the reporting, of Americans took to the streets. No King's rally. Couple of important facts. A, we don't have a king. We have a president who just a couple months ago, if I read the news correctly, got elected in a landslide, won the popular vote, won the electoral college. Neither was close. Won every swing state, won 90% of the counties in America, turned every single county more red except for one in the whole country, won the Senate and won the House. I'm pretty sure that's a clear talking point where you've got, they call it a mandate, not to be a king,
Right.
just to be a president, well, for 4 years. Now, the news reported it as if there were millions and millions and millions of people there. I mean, like of an unbelievable amount. And yet they had to manufacture the news.
Yeah.
MS, no one watching, got busted for showing this. Check this out.
Fake news MSNBC got totally busted lying about the size of the No Kings rally.
Look at this. Millions of people across the country marching as we speak against the policies of President Trump. This is Boston. Look at that. We'll continue to follow these rallies throughout the day here on MSNBC. Wow.
It is Boston, but it's not October 18th, 2025. It's August 19th, 2017 at a totally different counter rally. So real footage, fake news.
Wow. Now, before I ask you about the No Kings rally that you were at, and then another one you were at, I want you to explain something to me. And you've got an insider's man on the street perspective, Will Johnson. Why is there so much hate? And what I mean by that is I'm looking at some of these videos. I don't want to even play them. There's people saying that Trump should be shot, that they're glad Charlie Kirk got killed. I mean, this isn't a No Kings rally. This is, we hate you. We want you to die rally. Oh, and
Yep.
change the president too.
Yep.
I don't remember this kind of violence from the right, this aggressiveness, unless you're talking about like the crazies, not hundreds of thousands of people wishing death on the other half of America, which, by the way, is the bigger half, judging by the election we just talked about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about the fact that there's so many people like Andrew Colvett, who basically is the administrative head of Turning Point, who worked with Charlie Kirk since the beginning, said the vast majority of the people screaming hateful death to America, death to Trump, death to Charlie Kirk are teachers, teachers of children.
Yeah.
Wow. And they're on video, and I hope every one of them gets identified and released. But, you know, I'm looking at these rallies and these videos. It's like, listen to this. You got to grab a gun. We got to turn the guns on this fascist system. You know, we've got to be violent, blah, blah, blah. It's on and on and on. And the vicious speech. Now, you were there. What was it like for Will Johnson, who happens to be darker complected than most people there? How was that?
You know, Barry, one of the biggest things that stood out to me is that majority of the people that were there were white. And when I would have a conversation with them, because you know me, I like to have conversation with everybody, especially people that disagree with me. I like to have those conversations. I think it's healthy that we have different opinions. I think it's healthy that we have discussion and not agree on everything. I think it's good because that's how we learn. Well, while I was out there, overwhelmingly, every time I would have a somewhat of a conversation, they would bring up my complexion. Like, how dare you? How could you support him and you're black? And I'm thinking to myself, what does my color have to do with it? And not a single one of them can tell me what my color has to do with it. So I can only go at that point and assume that the reason why they have an issue with my color being that my color supporting President Trump is because I should know better than to vote and support a president like President Trump. And then I asked, I said, well, why can't I support him? Well, because he doesn't like black people. I'm like, can you show me the evidence of that? Can you show it to me? I want to see the proof of that. And of course, they can never bring up any proof. They never bring up any evidence. They go based on their feelings. And this is how I'm supposed to feel like them. And then when they realize that I'm not buying into the BS that they're feeding everybody, then they want to get upset. Then they start acting out. Then they want to start being violent. Not just verbally violent, but physically violent.
Were anyone aggressive around you?
Oh,
verbally or physically?
Oh yeah,
Really?
verbally violent towards me. And I've always made this a rule, because when I go out to these events, I go right into the belly of the beast, and I'm talking to the people, and the women, they'll punch me in my side, they'll push on me. And Barry, I don't know if this is sexist or not. I'm trying not to be, right, but I allow women to hit me as many times as they want to. But men, I give them one time, right? Ladies, I can't. I'm not going to hit a lady back, Barry. I'm just sorry. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Not going to do it. But they do push on me. They hit on me. The men, for the most part, they'll shoulder check me. And I just, okay, whatever. Like I said, I give the men one time. You get one time. Not a violent person. But yeah, they are violent. But the interesting thing, Barry, at this No Kings event, there was multiple people there in vests that was trying, their purpose was to make sure that their side, when they started getting agitated by the words coming out of my mouth, that they would be there to tame them. To say, don't be violent, don't be violent. Don't give them what they want. Don't give them what they want. So there was a lot of that.
Wow. Wow and wow. And as I said at the beginning, I don't know how many people showed up when you've got one of the largest news outlets literally lying on video.
Yeah.
Showing something from years and years and years ago.
Yeah.
From a rally that had nothing to do with what happened this past weekend. So I don't know how many people showed up. Some places say it was a total bust. Some places say it was mostly old people. And now we're going to talk about the real story coming up next.